Welcome to Inventive Minds Child, Youth, and Family Support Center. We are a not-for-profit organization working with families in their day-to-day parenting by providing workshops and seminars related to pediatric and child development. Inventive Minds provides care in the early years sectors for newborn to age 6, licensed under the Ministry of Education all across Ontario. Inventive Minds cares an elementary school open to international students from junior kindergarten to grade 3. The Inventive Minds Family Center helps families in mediation, arbitration, and parent coordination cases related to family separation and divorce. We support families during and past separation and divorce. Inventive Minds works with court orders to conduct child voice record and parenting courses related to CAS, court, and mediation purposes. To learn more about our services, reach us at inventivekidz.com or canadafamilymediation.com. Thanks everyone for being here today. I'm extremely excited to have Mrs. Russell, who is a lawyer, joining us today. Our topic is about investment and wealth and how we can use childcare need in Ontario as a pathway to Canada, and how we can help individuals that are in Canada or outside of Canada to become entrepreneurs by getting their hands into Ministry of Education licenses across Ontario, which can be great financial asset and income for them with net profit of 1.5 million annually. Before we start, I'm just going to give you a little bit of a background about who we are, and then I'll pass the floor. My name is Rose, and I'm the founder of Inventive Minds Child, Youth, Family Support Center. We've been established for 20 years now. I can't believe I'm actually saying that. We carry a multi-service when it comes to communities and families in Ontario. I'm now going to pass the floor to Ms. Russell, who is an immigration and investment lawyer, and she's going to give us some detailed introduction of herself, and we'll get the presentation going today. Please, thank you.
Thank you, Rose, for that wonderful introduction. I'm Yannick Russell, Canadian immigration lawyer. I also practice wills and estate law and business law, and our focus at Yannick Russell Law is to help individuals to seamlessly relocate to Canada, and they're able to do that through various pathways, one of which is through business immigration. So as Rose touched on earlier, we help a number of individuals to invest in Canada and leverage their investment to essentially apply for Canadian permanent residence and eventually Canadian citizenship. It is a pleasure to be able to share with you today, and I'm going to pass the mic back to Rose, who is going to tell you all about how to own a daycare in Canada.
When we talk about the early years sectors and when we talk about elementary licenses through Ministry of Education, these are two different licenses that their processes are different. I'm going to give a 101 quick session on how to start a business in Ontario when it comes to childcare and elementary school. In Canada, there are certain businesses that are considered the best way of investment. One of them is anything to do with healthcare. Another one is childcare. That's why you'll find that in Canada, these two businesses are really supported with government through different fundings, whether it is subsidizing part of the service or fully subsidizing the business. That can go both for healthcare and again for education and childcare because it's considered a need. And that's why investments like childcare and education, it's actually internationally recognized as the best way of doing business. You're working with children, you're working with families, you're working with education. Education is what stems the future.
Right.
And one of the things that I really appreciate about Canada and education in Canada compared to different parts of the world, in Canada, early years is extremely respected for the fact that it's teaching, it's not babysitting. And I think that's the primary part that we have to understand. It's about psychology, it's about emotional health, it's about education, it's about everything in one. There's so much happening in the birth to 6 in a child's life that is the stem of what they will be in their adolescence and teen. So for individuals who want to have a job, has a good income, and also at the same time rewarding because you're making a difference in a child's life. Having a childcare or a school, it's a very good investment philosophy. Now, we were talking about different types of businesses when it comes to childcare. There is the home-based agencies, and there is the standalone childcare or schools. When you're looking at a standalone childcare or school, which is a building, a commercial building that you're getting, you need to have an initial investment of $3 million. And you have to understand it will take you between 1 to 3 years of building your cash flow. Depending to what happens with the program advisor from Ministry of Education, depending to what happens with the building fire, public health, and all of those steps before getting a license, you could have a minus cash flow for the first 3 years. And that means you need to be able to put aside $3 million as an initial investment, knowing that you'll get your license somewhere between second or third year, and then you have to start building your cash flow. What happens a lot of times, because people don't know, they may fall into traps. For example, you may even make that initial investment of $3 million. And your business model shows that your license capacity at the end is 30 or 50 kids. So if you have a 30 or 50 kids license capacity, consider yourself minus. So you're never going to get back the initial investment that you put in of $3 million. You're just going to become your own employee of your own little small business, and you're not really going to get far with it. So when you're doing something like this, you need to be looking at a minimum of 120 kids capacity to hire. So that way your initial investment comes back and you're getting a surplus and you're happy with what you have. Then there's the agency. It will take you a year to get the license from ministry. The initial investment is $400,000. The reason why I say $400K is because I'm very transparent with the initial cost of what may cost you after until you get hired by the Ministry of Education. But the purchase of the license is $250,000. That includes with creating a positive cash flow when I give it to you. It's not as pressured. What that means is you are hired by the Ministry of Education. You will tell Ministry of Education how many homes you want, whether you want 15 homes or 20 homes. Under the act, you're allowed to hire someone to work for you with 6 kids in their home. You want to have a minimum of 20 homes, so you have revenue. And with that, in 2 years, you can have 1.5 million profit in your pocket. And I think that's a great investment return for something that your initial investment might be 400K and your net profit the second year could be 1.5 million. Now, when it comes to standalone commercial building that you're getting, where you're putting initial investment of 3 years for $3 million, and then you need to sit and get that money back if you planned it right. So working with someone who understands these and can give you these tips and even market you where you want to be marketed and consult you and support you is really effective. So you have a head start that you can succeed. I do want to quote that I have experience working in a public traded company and creating cash. And that's kind of a little bit about that. I'll pass it on to you now.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Rose. You touched on some critical points. The fact that you were able to outline specifically some of the numbers, it shows how much insight you have into the business operation. And that for us is critical. Ladies and gentlemen, we have always talked about empowering global entrepreneurs and helping them to establish themselves through Canadian business immigration. As a Canadian business immigration lawyer, I'm often reminded of a fundamental truth, which is wealth creation and economic success are rooted in strategic investments and specifically investments in income generating assets. What are income generating assets? Real estate can be one, purchasing stocks, shares in a company can be another, but business ownership is one of the easiest ways to invest in income generating assets and one of the most accessible income generating assets. Now, clients share with me all the time that they migrate to North America, whether it be US, whether it be Canada, for a better life. They're migrating for success. And success to them looks like cash flowing. So earlier, Rose touched on the opportunity to cash flow up to 1.5 million after 2 years. That is an amazing opportunity for an investment of 400,000. Like if you're doing the math, you could see that that is well worth it. So whether you're starting a business or you're looking to invest in other innovative ventures, we want to let you know that our mission here at Yannick Russell Law is clear. We are dedicated to empowering you as Canadian newcomers or as other individuals who are looking to migrate to Canada. How is it that we do this? Canada is not only known as a welcoming society or a country with a high quality life. It's one of those countries that focuses on child care, education, and just healthcare as a whole. So any opportunity within the healthcare sector will be an attractive opportunity for you if you're looking to use business investment as a means to migrate. So one of those opportunities that we're sharing with you today is a prospect of starting a daycare, which, as you've heard earlier, is a vital service that supports families and communities across Canada. And that is why we're proud to collaborate with experts within this area, like Rose from Inventive Minds, who is able to assist you through every step of the way when you're establishing your daycare business in Canada. And we mean from inception and initial planning all the way through to full operation and licensing. So if you're looking to investing, this is an excellent way to contribute not just to the economic development of Canada, but also to the social and cultural development of Canada. Now, I'm going to touch on a little bit about immigration pathways that can help you to become permanent residents. Most of the provinces across Canada have what is known as provincial nominee programs. And within these PNPs, as they are popularly known, there are economic streams. Now, these economic streams allow individuals to essentially submit an expression of interest to live within the province by meeting a few requirements. And these requirements look like having some business experience, making an investment within a business, creating jobs, because this is very important for the government, and also ensuring that you're going to develop the community. These economic streams within the provinces are one specific pathway for you to come into Canada. Starting the business, the daycare business, is an opportunity for you. Another pilot program that I'm going to quickly touch on is the Regional Economic Development through Immigration pilot program, and that is specific to Ontario. It's called READY for short. And this pilot is going to be attracting entrepreneurs to designated communities, 4 communities, and they have a target to welcome 800 newcomers by the end of the year. Now, the 4 communities are Lanark County, Leeds and Grenville, Sarnia, Lambton, and Thunder Bay. The thing about the licenses that Rose touched on earlier, she's able to get you set up in any community across Ontario. And the benefit of looking into these communities is the fact that you can leverage the business ownership to apply for your permanent residence. I'll tell you, Rose, one of the most recent draws that we saw from Ontario, they invited only applicants from these communities because their aim is to ensure that they are building these rural communities,
And that's
right?
the wonderful thing. With the home care agency license, you're
Hmm.
putting a small investment and you have the flexibility to place them where government is saying to place them for the applications. And because these are rural areas, the grants that are available with the government for those areas to develop them, to provide care is also high. So once you start your business as a home care childcare agency, you can get support for childcare spaces through subsidized. So what is subsidized care is government will look at the income of the environment, the spaces of that family, and based on their annual gross income, their childcare fee might be $0, where the government is directly paying you, just like how the health card covers the patient
Right.
being seen. So subsidy is covering that childcare for that individual. It's not just that we give you a license and we
Mhm.
start you, we help you every step to ensure you succeed. Because really, I think we all get in a stage in our life where our values change. And for
Right.
me, at this stage, is more what can I do to help another individual who's an entrepreneur like me to give them my skills to make sure they succeed. And another thing is because I am an immigrant. I came to Canada when I was 8. I've gone through what it is to immigrate to a country. I've seen my parents through that whole process, how, where they were, how they grew, what happened to them with those challenges. And if I can somehow support someone to come to Canada and be successful, I'm all for that. Together with collaboration, with having someone like Yanni with her skills, her background in law, and supporting them to make the package correctly, and someone like myself, we can really help individuals to come to Canada and be successful.
Beautiful. And it's that passion that radiates when you speak that I believe allowed me to connect with you so quickly, Rose, when we had our initial meeting, because you share so many of the plans, just the thoughts that I have surrounding helping other immigrants to become settled and not just to be settled, but to attain success, because that's really the reason why they ventured into migrating to Canada in the first place. And I'm happy that you, with all your years of experience, you have seen it necessary to impart on others, not just the skills that you have gained over all these years, but you're adding value to the lives of who knows, several others. Because when you help a life, when you help someone, you're also touching their children and their children's children. It's going on for many generations. So we're very privileged and happy to be able to partner with you to help persons who are looking to explore opportunities of business immigration here. While it's not mandatory, we highly recommend exploratory visit. We can facilitate meetings with you virtually. You can talk to Rose. You could also meet with via Zoom, but we're welcoming you to come into Canada, visit these communities beforehand so you can understand the lay of the land, understand community needs, opportunities that are available, and foster better integration and commitment. And we're able to help you with applying for business visas in this regard. You see, the government is establishing these criteria to ensure that the investments that are going to be made are meaningful, not just to the community locally, but to Canada on a whole, and that Canadian newcomers are going to be well prepared to succeed. So we're looking to attract serious entrepreneurs who are committed to creating jobs, fostering innovation, and contributing to the local economy, especially the economy of rural or northern communities and underserved regions. We want to ensure that we are sustaining growth of the economy, the growth of the population in a very sustainable way. Not many people are aware of the fact that there are business immigration opportunities. Besides coming to study, besides coming to work, these are opportunities that are available. You can explore the opportunities that are available on the ground, whether it be establishing a daycare, whether it be through the agency or you're looking to set up your own building. But there are certain parameters for you to understand. So I will always say to you, never undertake these opportunities without the guidance of someone who is an authority, someone who has already done it and they have all the knowledge, all the insight, and they can guide you to avoid certain pitfalls, certain roadblocks, like Rose, right? It is critical. I always share Rose with my clients that to become wealthy, you're going to be needing 4 professionals. You're going to need a lawyer on your team. Besides immigration, you need someone to incorporate, you need someone to draft your contracts, you need someone to get you those licenses. You need an accountant, you need someone with insight into the regulations surrounding tax laws. You will need an industry expert, someone with the knowledge, someone with the skills in that specific sector. So if you're going to embark on a daycare, you're going to need Rose. And lastly, you're going to need a financial planner, someone who can have a plan for you and to help you implement certain strategies for you to create and preserve wealth. In wrapping up, I want to let you know that our team here at Yannick Russell Law is committed to guiding you through all these processes and to help you unlock your potential in Canada's thriving economy.
I do want to quote, hearing your visions helps me set up the business model that you're looking for to target the numbers you're looking for. I will show you the roadblocks. I will show you what to do to succeed. You're more than welcome to book a meeting. We're here to support you and hear your ideas and see how we can make your idea a reality.
We look forward to helping you become established through business immigration and other pathways. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to stop with us this afternoon. My name again is Yannick Russell, Canadian business immigration lawyer, and with us presenting on how to own your daycare in Canada was Rose Morsh, and she's a family and child care expert who is also the CEO and founder of Inventive Minds. Feel free to connect with us separately, and we will be happy to guide you through this process.
Thank you so much. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you for joining this Inventive Minds Child, Youth, and Family Support Center workshop. Do visit www.inventivekidz.com, kids with a Z.com, to learn more about the many other workshops available coming up soon. You can connect with Inventive Minds via email at inventivekidz, again with a Z, at gmail.com for any parenting challenges so their professional team can connect with you. Check out a replay of this and many of our other podcasts by searching Inventive Kids on YouTube and the Parent Toolbox on Spotify. And join the Parent Toolbox Facebook community group today by searching the Parent Toolbox on Facebook. And we look forward to seeing you all again very, very soon.